Hi, I'm Ayanna. To check out my monologue at Breath of Fire, you better check out this video. I fell in love with writing when I got into comedy, and I wanted to try and take it on myself. I was kind of like the funny friend in the friend group, and I never really thought about writing it down, like writing my jokes down or anything like that, or screenwriting until I really got into it by just watching TV and watching comedy. And then until I decided, I was like, I think I can maybe do this. And then I took classes, screenwriting classes, did some improv, sketch writing, and I really fell in love with it then, when I could just naturally put humor and drama into dialogue. I like the playwriting format because it allows me to show my emotion and feelings through writing and then through the performance itself. So like for instance, I wrote my own monologue, so the emotion and the feeling of that I wrote into it is going to be portrayed when I recite it. So yeah, I really just like how I can really just show my feelings and what I'm thinking and just bring that to life. This is one of my first times really doing playwriting. It's mostly screenwriting, but this is my first time really performing something that I've written in a play format. So yeah, I like this format that I've come across. So my ideas I usually come from current events. So with my monologue that you'll see this week is more about I'm having an existential crisis right now, especially with the pandemic and just a lot of the stress and tension that has unfolded this year. All of that is just blurted out into a monologue. And I really like how, I usually write about either my own experience or something that would be interesting to experience, or something like, if I feel like my life is boring, what do I want to happen in my life? I can just write it and make it up. So that's what I really like about it, is just being creative and coming up with that, whatever you want to come up with. So my monologue is called Quarter Life Crisis, and it's about, my character. She's actually on a Zoom speed dating site, and the first time she meets somebody, she just blurts about her crisis and how she really thinks time is an illusion. Like, what even happened this past April? Nobody remembers it. All that jazz. And yeah, it's just kind of like a funny yet dramatic, real take on what's going on and what's, I hope, is everybody else is feeling kind of right now. And hopefully I'm not alone in thinking and saying what I will say in the monologue. I want the audience to feel connected to my monologue. This monologue is really, I wouldn't say it's a cry for help, but it's just, please, I cannot be alone in thinking this. I cannot be alone in having these thoughts. Like, I'm stuck at home and I'm going crazy. I feel like this world is falling apart. It's literally on fire, and I feel like I can't do anything. So I guess I'm hoping that other people feel the same way and they aren't afraid to talk about it like I am. So my mom actually performed at the Frida Kahlo Theater earlier this year in February, actually, and she was a part of the 10-minute plays, and she got in contact with Sarah, Santi, and Victoria, who are running the show Stage Story, Breath of Fire, and so actually my mom told me about it through them. So I was so thankful, because I'd already met Santi and Victoria before, just by showing up and supporting my mom and meeting her castmates. So yeah, it was all through my mom and just the Latina theater group. So I actually don't know any of the people who are performing. I only know, like I said, the director, stuff like that, but I don't know any of the other performers. So I'm actually very interested to see what they're going to talk about, because I personally feel like what I'm talking about is so different from what I'm assuming other people will talk about, but I have no clue. I mean, there's going to be poetry, there's going to be a song monologue, a regular monologue, and all that really cool stuff. So I'm just excited to see what they came up with. I mean, what original writing and work that they came up with. Yeah. Local theater community is so important to the area because it's so inclusive, especially with the diversity in this ensemble, especially. It really hones in on diversity and different people and maybe our struggles and all that, stuff that maybe isn't always talked about so freely. So yeah, and local theater groups are so much more of a family. They're more of a family and more of a tight knit than maybe bigger, broader theater groups. So it really feels like a home when you're in a smaller local theater community.